My name is John Gyra. I'm a ServiceNow architect here at RapDev. CSDM is an application that RapDev has built in order to dynamically register microservices inside of the CMDB and also create tag-based application services for them, all in accordance with the CSDM 4.0. CSDM 4.0 has been out for a little bit now, but with that came a new class called SDLC components that really represent microservices. Microservices really didn't have a home in the CMDB before this introduction. And because microservices, just as they are, they're kind of technical in nature, they historically have not been tracked in customers' instances. So one of the main benefits of CSDM as code is, allowing developers to register their microservices inside the CMDB, but without having to actually log into the ServiceNow UI to register those. There's always been a friction point between, the CMDB team wants the CMDB up to date, but the developers don't want to actually go into ServiceNow. They prefer being inside of their own Git tools. So that helps branch that gap. So they're able to stay inside their Git tool. So GitHub, ADO, GitLab, Bitbucket, whatever it be. CSDM as code is supported for all those different Git tools out there. But they just have to fill out a YAML file in accordance with a schema that they have to come up with that is agreed upon. But once they go ahead and fill out this file, make a commit, ServiceNow will go ahead and process it, parse it out together by rules that are set up by the customer on, for example, like this entity equals the SDLC component inside of ServiceNow. This application service key actually equals the application service table. And then you also set up some field mapping of, okay, like the group here equals like the support group field on here. It's just a simple mapping that customers are able to set up. But once you have that defined, again, the logic just parses the YAML script that was committed, and kind of just all the behind the scenes magic goes ahead and generates these entities inside of ServiceNow. So again, the main thing is the creation of this SDLC component that represents the microservice, and then also creating the tag-based application services for the different environments in which that microservice basically exists. So commonly it's like production, UAT, QA, development, etc. And the important thing also with this is the relationships are honored as well. So again, all centers around that SDLC component that can be related upstream to a business application, and then it's related downstream to those tag-based application services. And the reason why we chose tag-based application services for the type of application service, because again, you can have different types of application services depending on what type of mapping method you use. But we chose tags just again, because of how microservices usually exist. Usually they're cloud-based applications or containerized applications, in which case there should be tags for them. And it just lends itself very easily to tag-based service mapping. Another advantage to this, like tag-based application services are automatically created. Usually someone has to go into the ServiceNow UI to actually do a little bit of configuration to create these tag-based application services. But here, they just define it in their YAML, it automatically gets created, and then tag-based service mapping works just as it usually does as if someone created it manually inside of ServiceNow. So you get that complete picture. So you have the business application, you have the SDLC components, you have the tag-based application services. If you want to have the infrastructure related to the application services, tagging strategies do have to exist inside of customers. You have to be pulling in those tags via discovery or service graph connectors. However, if you for some reason don't have those tags, but you still kind of know what the tag values would be and the specific CIs that you would want on there, RapDev actually has another application called Tag Generator that actually allows for the dynamic creation of these tags without actually having to bring them in from Discovery or Service Graph Connector if tags don't exist natively inside of those environments. CSDM as code actually has a patent. It was RapDev's first patent, which we are really excited about. And CSDM as code is currently listed on the ServiceNow store for purchase.